Hello everyone and welcome to another Dominaria United traditional draft. It's of easy first pick, Llanowar green widow. Great, doesn't put you in any colors, has a domain in its ability, but it's still totally playable in, the domain ability is totally usable in even 2-color decks, and even without any domain abilities, a 3 mana 4/3 reach Trample is always going to be a high quality pick. Looking at this pack, there are no premium commons in here. I like the Cavalier here most, and out of the uncommons, you could go this route, but it's really a hefty mana cost. Or the Connoisseur Slimefoot Survey is not a card I would ever first pick. So maybe the second option from this pack would be, it could be just the Argivian Cavalier. That's, I think, the most flexible option, because the other options are not that much stronger than it, so it's better to take the flexible option this early in the draft if there's no clear power level difference. Alright, so I took a green card, and the only green card here is the Elfheim Worm, but there is a very good card with green kicker, and I don't necessarily mean the joint exploration, which is still fine, but Sprouting Goblin, you can play it as a 2-mana 2/2 or as a Civic Wayfinder sort of from the old original Ravnica block, which is still a good effect in limited. A 3-mana 2/2 with an ETB that gets you a land is good. And something to be noted for this specific card is that it's a land with a basic land type. So this will get these common duals too, which can be quite nice. So I'm gonna take it because it would suit very well with my first pick. The Lagomos is really good. Still, the Cavalier here is a reasonable pick, but here I'll take this this red card, and would be actually interested in running a red-green deck. I haven't gotten to draft red-green in a long while, so it would be nice to get it done. I think it's an archetype that can be quite effective. Now, Gardener is pretty good, and then there are some less impressive options. So I could try to sort of take a pick that, well, not exactly forces red-green, but still, you know, I could take like the Flowstone Kavu here, which I think would be my choice if I was to take a weaker card than the best card in the pack, but I think it's this early in the draft, so I should take the Gardener. Now this is not even that great in red-black, but you could still have some ways to pay the kicker even in red-black. So I'm gonna take the best card in the pack. These are just very replaceable commons. I won't be missing these even if I end up in red-green in this draft. Okay, so another Sprouting Goblin is really sweet. There is a Terra Sunder, which is of course a better card, but if I can start the draft with a Llanowar Green Widow and 2 Sprouting Goblins, and I still see some, you know, not amazing red, but playable red, and then the bite down is playable green, so maybe the color combination is fairly open. There's also some decent blue and white stuff. I mean, mostly the Tolarian Geyser and the Phalanx. I don't think the Mesa Cavalier is that amazing. It's like playable at most. But I will take the Sprouting Goblin here. That's something I think that is, after the Terra Sunder, the best card. So let's take it. Okay, this is still not so bad. Now, something to note here is that green doesn't seem to be very open here, but I totally like the Steel Crusher because it's very nice to be able to attack with your 2-power creature even later in the game, because you can make this like 4 or 5 power, so this will trade with something, usually not with anything too expensive, but still this is not a useless card later in the game, and who knows, sometimes there's an artifact to remove, so it's a card I'm very happy to play in any red deck. As a curve, I mean, 2-drops are always needed, and this is one of the not so embarrassing ones. Just check out, I could maybe take the Najal here and try to move to red-blue, but I think with the double Sprouting Goblin I'm too married to red-green that's not gonna change. And this is, wow, an interesting pack because, well, first of all, I'm gonna cut the Gardener. I don't think I'm going to splash this very easily. I might if I get some dual lands that produce also black. But anyway, Colossal Growth and Magnigot Sentry. These are the options here for me. And I would like to have both. This is a really sweet one. This also gives haste, which I didn't even realize until someone pointed out in some... I don't remember where, but I didn't even realize it has haste until someone said it. But the Sentry is good, but I think 4-drops can still be gotten there's an easier way to get 4-drops than this trick, which I think is pretty important for this archetype. Oh, and there's the Viashino Branch Rider, which I'm gonna take, well, mostly because there's not really anything else for me. I don't think the Vanquish's Axe is that great of a card. And this is one of the 4-drops that I kind of, you know, when I passed the Magnigot Sentry, I said I can always find a few 4-drops, and this is one of them. You can also play this as a 1-mana card, of course, but usually you will prefer to have this as a 3/3 with the kicker. But yeah, I think the Colossal Growth is one of the reasons to be red-green, because Trample... and of course the more important part about the kicker is the Trample, not the haste, but it's something to note that later in the game, if I have 5 mana available, I draw a Steel Crusher and I have a Colossal Growth. I can actually attack with the 6/6 Trample Haste guy, just out of nowhere. Alright, here, Bite Down, very easy. This is it's a totally reasonable pick. Then that, of course, was pick number 8, so you're not expecting to get anything too strong that late in a pack. And I don't mind having these in my green decks. I don't want to main deck necessarily a lot of them, but it really depends on a couple of things. Alright, Slime Foods Survey, definitely not for this deck, and a 2-mana 0/2, not for this deck either. I take the Hammerhand here. I don't expect to be playing it, but it's out of these options, it's the most likely to end up in my deck, maybe in some kind of a matchup where I sideboard it in. Unlikely, but more likely than playing those other cards. Okay, so this was the pack where I took Gardener, right? And I said I would take maybe the Flowstone Kavu if I wanted to force red-green. Now there's still the Elfheim Worm. Do I want to have a 3-drop or this pretty decent 5-drop? I think same thing. I take a 3-drop before a 5-drop because I don't need any 5-drops, and I might still find some other 5-drops that you know, because I won't be playing a ton of them, so the Worm is pretty replaceable in that sense. Alright, here maybe I'll take the Warbrute. I like the combination of Enlist and Trample. I can attack with the huge Trampler, especially with red and green. I can enlist the, you know, Green Widow. This is a 7-power Trample, which is going to be annoying. And it still has 4 toughness, so it's not that easy to just block with any small creature. Okay, here I can just take whatever. So the mana curve is a little hard to assess with all the kicker cards, so I maybe could do it like this for a while. I will change back to the other view. So this could be 3-drops. Okay, go here. These could be 3-drops. This could be a 4-drop. Any other kickers? Not the other. This trick is totally fine as a 2-mana spell too. Okay, so this is also an alternative version to figure out the deck. But yeah, you can play these as 2-drops. So that's great. Alright, so here there's a Mythic Rare I could Red Draft. I actually have 3 of these already, but it's a fairly weak pack. Actually, this pack hasn't got anything for me. I mean, this is just... I don't think that this can ever work in limited. Could be an interesting constructed card. Meteorite Strike Team is... when you can't have the white available, it's not that good. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mythic Rare. It's my 4th Liliana of the Whale. I don't have to spend wild cards if I want to play 4 of those in a constructed deck, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I will play. Well, I don't know. Is this a card you play as 4 of? I guess it is. I guess it is. I'm not a constructed specialist by any means. Alright, so this pack has some very sweet options. I mean, Magnigot Sentry, as boring as it is, it's totally a reasonable pick here, but there's also the Flowstone Infusion. But what I'm mostly looking at here is the Electrostatic Infantry. Number of instant and sorceries is important when you play that card, and of course red-green isn't likely to have too many of them, so I think I take the cheap removal spell option here. Yep. And okay, not exciting stuff for me at all. not even a mythic rare to rare draft in this pack. The Death Bloom Gardener, it's a 3 mana 1/1, and this deck wants to push hard. So this is not the pick here. So I'm going to take the Worm now because it's literally the well, maybe not literally, but it's in practice it is the only option for me. This also you want to play blue for this card, so the Worm is fine. How about here? There's a Sojourner, which is not for this deck. There's a Furious Bellow, there's a Buckwheat Crusher, and a Bog Badger. I wonder if it's gonna be the 3 mana 3/3 or the Furious Bellow. I have only 3 non-creatures with 8 creatures. I think I could take another trick here. This is not like super exciting when you don't have the black available. So let's take the trick instead. Dragon Whelp, Gasmite, Tribute. No, not Tribute, Warbrute. Right. Well, I take the Whelp. I think it's totally, maybe even a little bit above average for drop. The fact you can pump this 3 times without the the actual drawback is, I mean, you don't usually want to sink 4 mana to this, and you still can if that wins you the game. You can make this like a 10-3 to deal 10 in the air if that wins you the game. Doesn't matter if it gets sacked. Alright, Dragon Whelp. And here, okay, Wooded Ridgeline, the only card for me, not interested in Meteorite. That's a rather late Runos Vortex, by the way. And okay, Rulik Monster, it has to be the pick. Oh, there is, wow, there's another Colossal Growth here. So this has a menace when it attacks. Yeah, you can either sort of draw a card if it's a land, and then get a token otherwise. Yeah, I really would want to have the Colossal Growth, but I think the Rulik Monster is a little bit too nice to pass up here. Yeah, I'm taking the uncommon here. But yeah, Colossal Growth, I wanted to have that. Do I want to have the the white option? Yeah, I don't need to make this green video any better. It's gonna cost 6 mana to bring it back, and 6 mana is fine. I'll take the 3/3 here. And here, I'm not going to. I mean, the Lanova Stalker it's just too weak. It's too weak. It's not even a +1/+1. Maybe if it was +1/+1, but even then it would be bad. So let's just take the uncommon for Vault maximization. And yeah, I got the Sentry back. That's a nice one. So I'm at 16 spells now, before the 3rd pack has even started. So definitely the colors have been fairly open. I'm a bit sad about having passed the 2nd Colossal Growth, but I think the Rulik Monster has enough going on for it. Now it is only a 3/3 for 4, but it has menace, and I have other ways to, I have this Furious Bellow and the Colossal Growth, for instance, to make it slightly easier to actually attack without it just being eaten by opponents' creatures. Alright, I'll take the Amplifier here, I guess. I don't think I'm ever gonna sideboard in the Meteorite. Here, the Endless Creature or the Bug Badger. I don't know. I have quite a few 4-drops, so I'll take the cheaper one. Not sure how many of them I'm going to play. Because the Sprouting Goblins, I prefer them to be 3-drops, but of course if it's turn 2 and I don't have any other play available than a Sprouting Goblin, I will most likely play this as a 2. But the thing is that I have now actual 3-drops, I have 4 of them, and could be 3-drops, 2 more, and 6 3-drops is already quite a few, so I don't need any 3-drops for curve filling purposes at least. Okay, I got a Gasmite. Well, I definitely don't need the 3-drop like I said, but this is gonna be only +2/+2, which makes it not that great. The Shop Up Roller, usually a fantastic card. I mean, even in this deck, it is going to be a 2 mana 2/3. So even if I don't get any benefit out of the, it could be a 4/3 or 5/3, it's still a 2 mana 2/3. That's not a joke, and I'm gonna pick it. The other option is something like a Goblin Picker here. And who knows, maybe now I have a little bit more incentive to pick some off-color duals. In a sense that they of course would have to tap for green or red. But having a couple of tapped lands in the deck is not a big deal if it can have an actual substantial benefit But yeah, I'm gonna take this card here. Now there was the black 6-drop, green-black 6-drop, which is splashable, but I don't wanna mess up my mana base. So I don't want to need black mana. It's fine to have some lands that can make this better, but the idea is that this can always be cast once you have a green mana available, which this deck will have. So there's a Wooded Ridgeline number 2, there's an Infusion, and there's a Molten Monstrosity. This will be easily a 5-drop in this deck. Sometimes it will be bigger. Actually, with these Enlist creatures, I mean not bigger, but cheaper, because its base cost is 8, and then I assume to have 3 power creatures quite easily. So 5. This will be a 5-drop. But I have actually with this Enlist and some of these 4 power creatures that I have here. Yeah, it can be even a cheaper one. I think I still will take the Infusion though. I don't have a lot of interaction. It's kind of tough, but I think I'll take the cheap interaction here. Not sure about the Gas Might here. Okay, there's a Radha Coalition Warlord. Now this is a domain card, so usually this is pretty amazing in domain decks. But this is gonna only add, you know, +2/+2 in this deck. But I have some Enlist creatures, because this is of course when you attack with it, it works, but it also works when you enlist it. That's kind of the point. And I have some, not a lot. I think I have 3 or 2 Enlist creatures. I'm not sure, because I could just take a Bite Down, or maybe even Furious Bellow, maybe even a 2-drop. Do I actually want to have a 2-drop here? I mean, if I want to kick these, yeah, I want to have a 2-drop. I don't know, I think I have so many 4s that Radha is not the priority. I take the 2-drop because I just noticed that I really need more 2s. Okay, here I'm gonna take a Lightning Strike. Now there are still a couple of 2s, but yeah, let's take the Lightning Strike. It's the best card in the pack for this deck, for sure. Yeah, I have so many 4-drops. I don't really... I mean, a 4-drop that I'm picking at this point has to be like clearly better than my previous ones, and the pack shouldn't have any other, you know, comparable pick to it. So I think it was correct to not take the 4-drop uncommon, because it is definitely a lot more impactful in decks that have, you know, either more Enlist creatures or at least more land types to make the boost effect more than +2/+2. Another Lightning Strike, thank you very much. I will take that. Okay, I'm at 24, but no, I'm at 23 lands now because non-lands. I have 1 land here, so I guess this is kind of the deck that it looks like right now. I don't think, yeah, the Hammerhand and all this stuff in my sideboard, they are not going to make the main deck. So this is currently my deck, and now all further picks are gonna be for sideboard, or they're gonna be improvements to this deck. So let's see. That's a 15 creature, 8 non-creature spell deck. Gas might not be great here. Okay, Colossal Growth. I'm gonna just take that. Yeah, this is nothing. And I have like what? Actually 8 instants, but I might cut some of them. The infantry won't be the pick here. I like the Colossal Growth more, so let's take that. So I'm gonna cut now something. I think this will be a... I guess it could be a 16 land deck because I have 2 Sprouting Goblins. As long as I go to 3 lands, then I can have these as additional mana ways to get lands. Here I will take the Molten Monstrosity. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have some cuts here, but let's, you know, finish the draft first and then figure it out later. I'm fairly happy about this deck now, especially with the 2 Lightning Strikes. I might even cut one of the infusions because now I have these small creature removal spells. These are nice, of course, to sideboard in if opponent has a lot of small creatures. Alright, I won't be playing necessarily even the first Gas Might, so I'm definitely not picking this one. As you can see, the dual lands are being drafted by domain drafters, so I don't think I'm gonna get any great domain payouts. I'm not sad about this 2-drop though, it's totally a reasonable curve filler. And this is also a reason to... actually, I will continue with that line later, because I know I have to decide between a second Worm and a second Goblin Picker. I mean, I might need these big creatures in some matchups more than not. I think I have the Monstrosity, so that was a tough one. You could have taken the... because I'm not gonna main deck 2 Worms, but I could see matchups where I want to sideboard into more big creatures, so that... I wanted to still take the, you know, the curve filler pick. Okay, Ridgeline is great here. Getting my mana work. I have some double casters, so making them being able to cast them more reliably is definitely valuable. Okay, I could take 20 gems here from a pack that doesn't have anything otherwise. Okay, Sunbathing Root Follow. Now this will only be +2 activations, but at least I have now 2 drops. That is good. Oh yeah, actually these things... I forgot these things search for a land with a basic land type. I think I prefer the Haster than all of that. So I would actually be able to easily get some domain lands if I pick them, but I don't think I even saw them that much. Alright, so yep, if I paid a little bit more attention to these Sprouting Goblins, I maybe might have picked some dual lands that produce either red or green and then some other colors to make my potential domain cards a little bit better, because I have 2 ways to fetch. So even if I had like one green black producing land in here, I could have used this kicker option and make my domain stuff better. And I would have 3 ways to get it. So basically, I mean, one of them would be just drawing it naturally, and the other ones would be getting with a Sprouting Goblin, which I have 2 of. And another thing I was talking about in the late stages in the draft, but I said I will return to that. So I was trying to point out that I have now 2 Goblin Pickers, 2 Sprouting Goblins, so there's no reason to play 16 lands and risk, getting mana screwed, because I have ways to turn extra lands into draws. Now this of course turns anything into new draws, but I mean, if I'm drawing lands I don't need, I can just discard them with this or sacrifice with these, and I have 4 of those, so I will definitely play 17 lands. It would be just too, it would be making no sense to go below 17 when you have such ways to get rid of your extra lands and turn them into something useful. I mean, in new cards. Alright, so that means I will cut 6 cards in here. I will keep all the 4 drops. So with all these 2s, let's put what I want to be always 3 drops, the Sprouting Goblin. I put them there, and that leaves me, if I never play these as 2 drops, I mean, of course I will, but in some games, but for mana curve's sake, I will now consider these 3 drops, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures at 2 mana and 2 spells I can play at 2 mana. These can get rid of opponents' 2 drops. So I'm not worried about the amount of 2 drops in the deck, but I have to now make some decisions about the cuts, and that is going to be 6 cuts. Well, the Gaia's Might is gonna go first. It's just a +2/+2, not worth it. And with 2 Lightning Strikes, I might take another one of these Flowstone Infusions because there are some decks that don't have a lot of things you can kill with this. Now you can of course target your own creatures for +2 power, but that's a little bit of a fringe case. You usually want to just use this as a removal. Now it has still some utility. I mean, you can attack your 3/3 into their 2/4, then post-combat use this on their 2/4 that has taken 3 damage. So there are stuff like that, but with the double Lightning Strike I don't think it's necessary. And now I'm thinking if I should cut some of the 2 drops. I do like the natural 2/2, I mean natural 2/3 here. I'm not going to cut that. I do like the Steel Crusher, so maybe one of the Root Follows can go after all. And that would leave me at 3 cuts. I think one of the Bog Badgers can go. I have enough stuff to cast on turn 3. And I think one of the Branch Riders go, because I have so many 4s in here. And while you can play this as one mana 1/1, and yes, this can, with mana usage, you can even the 1/1 version can be a 3/1, so it can do something, but it's really mana hungry. So I'm gonna cut one of these, and this leaves me now to 24 cards. And now I have to think if I want to cut the other Root Follow, because I don't really want to sink 4 mana to +2/+2 either. So I'm gonna cut one of the 2 drops, because that still leaves me with only, while it's only 1, 2, 3 and 4 creatures at 2 mana, I can still interact with the opponent's early game with the Flowstone Infusion and the Lightning Strikes, which is total 7 ways to do something in the first 2 turns. And of course I still can play these as 2 mana 2/2s. It's not so bad. So this will be the deck. This will be the deck. I would have actually liked to have the Elfheim Worm for sideboarding purposes. The other one I passed. I think I took a Goblin Picker over it, but maybe if I could now change, I would rather have another Worm as a sideboard option, but oh well. Lands will be... okay, I have more red cards. I have red double caster, green double caster. This also, you know, I want these to have a lot of red mana. So it's... well, it's still gonna be a... yeah, it's gonna still be as even of a mana spread or split as possible, but with 2 of these duals I'll add 15, which means 8 plus 7, so let's put 7 forests, 8 mountains, and now I have a very should be very consistent 10-9 mana base, so hopefully no color issues, at least in too many games. And I think that wraps up the main deck. Have some tricks in here. Big creatures, the enlist creatures, you know, can be big too. Yeah, I think this is fairly decent. Okay, play first. It's okay, I have a 3-drop and 4-drop. I don't think I'm gonna Branch Rider at 1. No. If I had a 4-drop in the hand already, maybe I would be doing this on turn 1, but now that this might be my turn 4 play, I'd rather not. Yeah, this is a 5-lander, I understand. So, but I have a decent enough curve here, but of course, I mean, the old curse, which I have had some of here in some of these recent events, keeping 5-landers, drawing 2 lands, at least 2 lands as the immediate next draw steps is of course horrible, because I am now down to 2 spells versus whatever the opponent has. I don't know how many lands they have in hand, but I assume they have more spells than 1 in their hand. Okay, so this is a domain deck, maybe. Let's see what basic land they find. It's a swamp. Alright, so that's a bit bad timing for that, but oh well. I can still race with this because they haven't played more than 1 night and I was on the play, so they are slightly behind in the race, of course. I'm still behind in cards if they have like a reasonable balance of lands and spells. So this might not be an actual domain deck, it's probably black-green with, you know, some domain payoffs. They can continue to race here, they can attack me down to 12, but I am still the guy who is... okay, they have a battle class one. This will trade with something. But I have a... okay, lands. Yeah, I have actually drawn, yeah, 3 lands and 1 spell. So yeah, I can pump the Branch Rider if they don't jump block it, and then I can still play the Brawler, and the Brawler can block the Iconoclast. This thing of course has menace, but I mean, given the amount of lands I have here, I'm not too happy about the situation. But I guess if I draw like impactful spells, like 3 draw steps in a row, I still can. Why would they jump block that one? I mean, this is strictly better at this point. But they could have jumped this because they didn't expect me to use the pump ability. Well, I mean, they just took 2 damage for no reason, because if they wanna block a 3/3, jump block a 3/3, why not the one that has a pump ability? And yeah, of course, this cannot block now the Iconoclast because they got the 3rd Strapter. Now I can't block, but it would only absorb 3 damage and I lose this for no reason. So I go down to 4 here, but I think that is the only way. But they can even pump the Knight. Yeah, I think... well, I'm not gonna... this has menace, I can't block it, and this is only a jump block for 3 damage. That's not the winning play. I'm definitely not... I need to draw something very impactful here. And they must not have anything too good. but I'm definitely, because I'm losing on the next turn, they can threaten to make this into a 4-4, so I would need 2 blockers, but if I leave blockers I can't attack, and they still have the 1 power flyer as well, so that's a good one. So this is gonna be, the Tortoise is gonna trade with the Branch Rider, the Swarm is going to trade with the Bog Badger. No, the Swarm is gonna trade with the Branch Rider for sure. Now this draw was still, it was okay. I'm wondering if I should attack at all. I mean, with more than 1. I will attack with 1 here for sure. I don't want to feed the Branch Rider to the Swarm. I think I'd rather them use the Swarm for something else. Okay, let's go to combat, of course, because I'm not gonna play the green video pre-combat. So I can't attack with all 3 because they have a lethal attack with the Knight of Dusk Shadow. I can take the Iconoclast, that's the thing. I don't have to consider this. I assume the Tortoise is going to block if I attack with 2 or more. I'm thinking about attacking with the Brawler instead. I mean, Badger and Brawler, if I attack with them, they might take it all that through though. Then of course I will lose. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually have to attack with this so I can threaten to deal some damage. Yeah, that's correct. And this thing has Trample, but now the Swarm is going to block the Branch Rider for sure. I guess attacking for 2 isn't too impactful. It's a really tough one. I guess I'm just attacking with this and force the block with the Swarm. That's what's gonna have to happen. I'm not happy about having to leave so much guys here, but what can I do? They had the chapter 3 from me. Okay, they actually prefer to have the Swarm there. That's fine. Because I have a reach guy. I have a reach guy in here. Okay, so I'm not dead now because I must double block the Knight of Dusk Shadow and then block one of these guys, and that's gonna happen unless they have removal, of course. So this threatens to be a 5-5. Well, it can't kill 2 of my guys here. So this has Trample, but I mean, whatever. Let's do it like this. I can take 1 in the air, and then I can take another 1 in the air. This can come back, but it will enter tapped. Okay, that's interesting. They didn't kill anything with the... But they didn't pump it even once. The Bone Rattle. Okay, that's... I mean, it could have been worse. I got to kill the Knight for free. Okay, so sadly I can't have mana to both use the green video and the Goblin Picker in here. Of course, the fact they have this thing here again. Well, I mean, I have to do this. There's no other way. Because I again have to block this, and then I have to block the Bone Rattle. I actually have to jump block the Bone Rattle, but what can I do? They have too much going on here. So 5 here, this there. Yeah, this menace here. Alright, well that's it. The game is done. Yep. So it's not a domain deck, it's a black-green deck with, you know, some domain payoffs. Well, I was a little bit flooded there. I think the infusion now is easily in here because it can get rid of the Knight, the Iconoclast, even this thing, even though it will cost 3 mana, and of course the Battlefly Swarm. So that's really easy sideboard in. What else might I want to have? And I have to cut something as well. I don't know. Maybe cut the branch rider. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So this time, yeah, this will be my 3-drop. I think I will thin my deck. I can use the lightning strike as a turn 2 play. Or maybe I draw another 2-drop. Well, I sort of did. Okay, that is done right away. I'm gonna get the basic forest, no reason to get the dual land. I have enough resources here already, and I don't want to have a entry tapped land on a critical turn. Okay, well, again, few of these lands here. But I have now means to, you know, make the lands. Discard or sacrifice them, so it's fine. I have the 5/5, which I hope they can't immediately answer. But they didn't play a 3-drop, they have a Magnigot Sentry here. That stops my attacks. Yeah, well, I mean, let's discard the draw. Okay. That hasn't played itself. And this Sentry isn't gonna be good enough by itself. Yeah, you can attack. That can't block the... Alright, and that's a good draw. Now I will simply attack with the Rulik Mons. No reason to attack into a 2/5, and even though I could finish it off with the Lightning Strike, it just makes no sense. So if it's a land, you may put it on the battlefield. If you didn't put... Okay, yeah, so I can't do anything, it just remains on there. I got the 1/1 token, that's great. And then... I wonder why they attacked with the Sentry. They didn't want to leave double block up. That's good for me. So I'm gonna discard the mountain and play the Whelp, right? No, they have this. I think I should play the monstrosity here instead. Oh, I can also sack a land. Yeah, I mean, I have actually 2. So I can play this thing and then I can still end of turn sack a land to draw a card. Sweet. So I have kind of this, I mean, you always, if you have both of these available, you actually can play the land you are planning to discard. So you can use the mana from the land for the activation. So it's better than the picker in that. If you are ditching lands, of course, this can also ditch some other cards than lands. But in this case, when I wanted to discard a land, better to play it, and then I can use its mana for this. Okay. So if I can get rid of the Sentry, the Dragon Whelp could be the card threatening to win, cause a victory. Okay, so they are really just going all in here. So what are the possible things they might have? A Gaia's Might is only +2+, so they might have the, you know, the thing that makes indestructible and gives death touch. Well, I'm going to do that. Let's see what they have. I'm assuming they're gonna give the 2-mana trick. I don't want to block the Sentry because they might have a Gaia's Might. Colossal Growth. Well, that's also works. Okay. But I'm again, I mean, I have all these attacks available, and they have one blocker which I can get rid of. I don't have mana to finish off the Crusher, but let's sack a land to draw a card. With the Whelp, I kinda... Yeah, I don't need more than 1 forest, and the Ridge line. Well, which is also a forest, so I guess 2 forests. But I might want to have the ability to pump this a lot. Alright, so attacks. Now they have only a 3-2 in there. Now that I did sack a land, I actually can't double spell with the Dragon World, but I can double spell with the 2-drops here. I mean, of course I'm gonna attack with everything, right? Except for the 1-1. If they block the 1-1, they take 7. Yeah, they might block the 1-1. I'd rather jump the 4-4 or something like that. Okay, that goes. The battlefield, it enters tapped, so I can't use it on this turn. And yeah, I'm not using the lightning strike on the abomination. If they trade with one of my 2-drops, be my guest. Okay, they are gonna go for aggression here. Well, I mean, I play these things and look at my board here. If they attack with everything, they can't survive my next turn, especially because I have the lightning strike they don't know about. But as long as I survive this attack, and with 3 blockers and being at 12 life, how can I die here just like that? They have 2 cards I don't know about. Even if they are like 2 pump spells, they don't even have access to red, so if they have another Colossal Growth... Yeah, now they realized that. Yep, it's not gonna work. So, do I even care about blocking here? I guess the Brawler doesn't do much, so let's block with that. This can, you know, enlist something, so that's something I'd rather keep here. Ah, gaining is alive. Well. That's a shame. So I can make this into... This is an attack trigger, not a tap, yeah. I can make this into a 4-4 and then finish off the ancient with the lightning strike. Oh, but the 4-4 isn't enough. I have to make... I mean, not a 4-4, a 4 power creature. But they can block with the crusher. So I guess I make it into a 5 power creature. And then... Let them trade with the crusher. Or if they really want to block with the ancient, I don't mind. So let's enlist. This thing has Trample, so I have to be very careful about it. I have a 5-4 coming up, at least. Now, do they have a trick there? I could use this and... I mean, I could play this and then have the lightning strike up, but the 5-4 is just too... I mean, it can block better here. And I can even take the ancient. I mean, if they attack with the ancient, I can take it if I want to. I don't feel like blocking with the 5-4 and a 2-2 here. Although that wouldn't still be that bad. Okay. So be it then. Have the removal available. Well, I have a jump on the 4-4. If they attack with both, I think I'll just jump the 4-4. But I will be going to... Well, I would be going to 5. I hope the last card in their hand is not more interaction or pump spells. That was rough. But they found a good way to stabilize because, of course, them gaining the 5 life is a huge thing here. So let's see if they are... They're going to attack with the 7-7. They are thinking about it, so maybe they have a land in hand or something else uncastable. Okay, they just do this thing. Well, I mean... I could double block this guy, but I'd rather just jump it. I think I will sack a land which... And what do I want to... I mean, then I can't play both of these if I sack a land, unless I draw a land. I guess I will draw 2, but I'm thinking about ways to win. One of them would be, you know, just a little bit more damage. Because I have 7 here, that's... I need 1 more point of damage here. Dragon Whelp is good, but I need to... I mean, I need to like triple block the Mossberg Ancient very soon, so that's not really great. I guess I'm gonna try to find 1 point of damage here somehow. have a priority. Hopefully it is just a Gaia's Might. Yeah, the Ancient really made things difficult there. Okay, that's not helping at all. So how do I... if they have a Gaia's Might, this is gonna be a 9 points of Trample. Can I play around it? Is there a way to play around it? Now I have also... I have one Lightning Strike here. I have a pump spell, 2 pump spells actually. So I could draw a card, tap one of these, then attack for 5, for 8, and I need 3 more. So I could, if I find one of the pump spells, I would win, assuming they don't have creature interaction there. But the other option is to triple block the... Well, or block the Ancient so that I can take some trample damage. If it's a 9 power trample, man, this Ancient is really painful card there. So jump block that. I guess... actually, I will know what my next card is. Because I will see it. Might make it so that I want to... No, it doesn't really help actually. I would have to commit to the attack first. I think I'm still attacking for 3. Ah man, I have here 10 damage. With the Lightning Strike I have 10. That's not enough, they have 11 life. Okay, let's do this. I don't know if this is gonna be... I fear they have a Gaia's Might or something there for the Ancient. Yeah, the 5 life there is so relevant. If they were at 6, I have multiple ways to kill them. Of course they wouldn't have attacked, but then again I wouldn't have needed to jump block and all that. Yeah. There's a block battery. Now with that information I know I can draw a block battery. But I can't... Okay, yeah. So now I got a 1-1 for the sentry here. So if I can block enough to... if this is 9 power, I need to block at least 6 of that. No, 5 of that. Well, I guess I can do that. I draw the bug patcher, right? And then I will play the bug patcher and have mana up for the lightning strike or something. And the land sack. No, that's actually... No, is it wrong? Did I mess up? No, I didn't. I kind of first was thinking about the blocks there, and then I was thinking that this can contribute, but it can't now. So now the idea is that I'm gonna play around Gaia's Might, which should be still possible, like this. Now the 9 power, I will be at 1 if they have a Gaia's Might. If they have some other, pump spell that adds more than 2, this is gonna... Of course, I could have not blocked with a 2-2. Alright, so assuming they have nothing, I have a lethal attack in here. Well, let's do... I have to go for it. I won't be surviving any other attack from them. Haha. So that worked. I think... I don't know if they had the Gaia's Might, but if they did, I did the correct blocks, because otherwise... Yeah, if I block with only the block patcher, I will drop down to 1, but a Gaia's Might makes this Trample 2 extra points. That was rough. So they have this Ancient in there. They have Extinguish the Light. This deck is pretty good they're having, by the way. They have some good quality cards. But at least I was able to win a game. Do I want to have my own Gaia's Might to kind of counter their tricks? Maybe one of these 1-2-2s isn't gonna be that impactful. I think I want to be able to counter that trick somehow with the Gaia's Might. Maybe I can make a put one goblin picker away. Is the Kabu gonna be better than the Badger? I guess I like the Kabu slightly more. Yeah, let's do it like this. Mossbird Ancient. Well, a red-green deck doesn't usually have two good ways to deal with very big creatures. So that's just something I have to... well, I was able to win even though they had that tank, but it was really, really tough. Okay, I got my Colossal Growth, which I would have needed in the previous game. But my first creature is Elfenweb. I have a good mana, triple green, double red with 4 lands. I mean, I think the Colossal Growths are too crucial here, so I need to get lucky and draw my creatures right. I feel that's how it goes. I mean, I don't like to keep it, but this is the kind of card that would have made the previous game so much easier if I drew these. Trample and +4/+4 is so good. Okay, come on, let's draw removal for that. Oh, that is sort of removal. Oh boy. I don't like this start with this thing every game. At least I was able to remove it in the previous game, but yeah, this is bad. This looks bad. I mean, I kept a risky hand, but I felt this is not a great matchup on the draw anyway, especially when they do curve out like this. And of course, I mean, my 3 draws didn't get me any creature here, so I think this is gonna be like the last turn when I can draw something. I guess if it's a 2-drop, I can combine it with the Bite Down to kill the Knight of Dusk Shadow. So I'm hoping they don't have a Gaia Smite there. That's exactly what it was. So this is now about them having a Gaia Smite. Oh, they have a stop there. Jeez. I do have a Colossal Growth giving +3/+3, but it's just not very good, is it? Plus Gaia Smite is +3/+3 currently. Yeah, I have to block the Tortoise. I don't really... I mean, it seems like they have a Gaia Smite. Man, such perfect curving out. They didn't have a 4-drop. They had a 3-drop with the open mana. Now, it's possible the opponent, you know, uses full control or something. It doesn't necessarily mean they have, but it's more likely that they have than not. So at least I can do this. And if they use the Gaia Smite, I can have some kind of a response. Yeah, it was a Colossal Growth. It's the same thing though. I mean, I can play my own Colossal Growth in here. Oh, but they have a... I mean, they are gonna have also a Gaia Smite, right? I mean, if that's what it is, then what can I do? Yeah, I mean... me not having a 2-drop here is really horrible now. Okay, Lightning Strike is good, but so what they're gonna do with the Tortoise? They're gonna enlist the Rager and they're gonna still attack for a lot. So if I play the Worm here, I don't think it's even that great. But if I just play the Lightning Strike and nothing else, I take 5 damage. If I play the Worm, they're gonna enlist. Now I guess I can just block the Tortoise and hope I draw more creatures. I need to be mana efficient here. It's possible I draw a creature on the next turn. I can finally use the Bite Down, but yeah, the starting hand in this game was obviously just... It was risky and I didn't get there, but let's hope they have run out of their stuff. I will take not that much damage now when I'm gonna block Tortoise here. It's really annoying to use my 5-drop to trade with their 3-drop, but what can I do? So I'm at 8 still, I'm not totally dead. Now I need a creature. Oh. Wow. Taking 4 now. Taking 4 now. Well, technically, I'm not yet dead, but the sentry, I think... Yeah, classic. all these cards that require creatures, and I drew 2 creatures here in top 14 cards. Alright, well, such is life. I kept a risky hand, but I think mulliganing to 6 there is... Yeah, they of course had a good start here, but they had of course the kind of deck that allows them to curve out like this, so that's of course something you can expect from your opponent, to have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. It's not really a rare thing to happen in a limited game. So I can't blame my draws. I'm just figuring out if the mulligan would have been the better one. But if I drew there, like first of all, I want to point out that I had 2 lightning strikes and 2 of the 1-mana spells that could have gotten, for example, rid of this Knight of Dusk Shadow right away. They were good, extremely good draws. I have 4 outs to that, and then I had still plenty of creatures I could have played at 2 or 3 mana. So the amount of draws outs I had there. It was like around at least 10, if not more than 10 cards that would have been good on turns 2 and 3 for me. I just didn't draw any of them. And I did have, of course, multiple draw steps being on the draw. So I don't think the keep was bad. Well, I'm keeping it because I have these playable cards, plus I can ditch some other cards to find a green source, and I have 9 green sources. This deck has 10 and 9 mana base. So of course I would want to get this so I can kick it. But depending on what I draw, I might discard a Colossal Growth to draw a card. Let's see. Sunbathing. Okay, well, no need for that actually. So I can just offer a trade now. I can play my Sprouting Goblin, get another forest. So they are at domain 3 right now. Domain 3 still. Well, I have the lightning strike for that. Okay, I don't mind if they use a trick on this thing. That's even better, I guess. Salt and okay. What did they mill? A wall? Stuff like that. So I have to trade with the wall. That thing anyway at some point. They will get the value when they get to use it for 5 mana, but it's not like I can attack past this thing. I have the War Brute here, which is fine here totally. And I wanted to play this rather than this because this just attacks for more damage. And if they have a good blocker, I have tricks and removal, so I will be able to attack for 3 now. I guess on the next turn I might have been able to attack with this so that they will pump. And I mean use the pump ability and then yeah, but still I think this War Brute was the more sensible thing to do. And now I can keep in mind these things when kicked give also haste. So if they are at low enough of a life total. By the way, they are having a stop there. I don't know what would they be able to do with 1 mana. Anyway, if they have a low enough life total, I can have a cheap creature and then have a hasty guy. 2/2 will be a 6/6 trample haste with this, and it will only cost 5 mana. But they are not at a very low life total right now, so let's see what they do. Okay, I'm not gonna play into their tricks. The Dragon Whelp is more valuable than trading with the trick there. Okay, that's totally fine. And of course 2 damage here is nothing. It would be a totally different thing if I was like at 6 life. Then I just will make the block and so on. Alright, so this will sadly just trade with the Splatter Goblin. So how do I do it? Oh, but it has I can enlist it. Yep, let's use the enlist. So I won't have tricks available mid-combat, but I don't think it's such a big deal. Because you can enlist hasters. Because they are unaffected by summoning sickness. And enlist says non-attacking creature without Zombie, but because haste size it's unaffected by that, I can do that. Hoping they don't have anything nasty there, because all I have up is the Dragon Bulb activation. So. But this thing has Trample, so blocking with the Splatter Goblin isn't the greatest thing. Okay, I have to use my mana somehow, so let's see what's it gonna be. Ah, that could be cut down. Yeah, it is a cut down. Alright, well. So be it. Because I saw earlier that what is a 1 mana spell that costs either black or white. Okay, so they're gonna get a 2 for 1 here. It's fine. So of course one of them is a cut down, and they weren't able to use it as long as I had a mana up for the Dragon Well. But so be it. Now they have 3 cards here. They have this expensive recursion ability. My creature is bigger than theirs. I have a Colossal Growth. I guess, yeah, the problem is if they find removal on the Branch Rider, I have nothing going on. It is the nature of pump spells. Okay, they do it main phase. That's something they could do, not main phase. I guess I'll pump twice. Sadly not quite lightning strikeable opponent life total. Maybe they play another Phyrexian Rager and then it's gonna be great. These things give Trample, so currently I am winning. Let's see if they... No, now they... what's this? Why would they... Oh, they have the fight spell, the 1 mana, the uncommon one. Oh man. So now it happened. I am at 0 creatures, although any creature will be hasty. Actually, creatures will just win the game, right, because of the Colossal Growths. Haste. And Trample. That's actually exact seas. Even if it wasn't exact seas, Lightning Strike, I mean, I would trample some amount of damage and then finish off with the Lightning Strike on the next turn. But yeah, finally I drew a creature, and thanks to the Colossal Growth, immediate impact. Alright, so another black-green deck, sure. Cut down. Well, pump spells are really good against cut down and tail swipe. So I'm going to play the what it is, Gaia Smite. Very nice counters. In addition to, you know, being just usable as a combat trick in normal cases. So Root Voila, Splatter Goblin. I think that's enough of reasons to also play the Flowstone Infusion. But now that this means I will cut 2 cards. I'm not sure what are them. I guess something like a Goblin Picker is the easiest thing to just cut. I like my 2/3 for 2. Should I cut a land? I have a fairly cheap stuff here going on, and cheap interaction. I think I'm this time going to cut a land here. I'm on the draw anyway, which gives me, you know, extra card. As long as I get to 3 lands, these represent additional lands. So I have now 16 mana sources, and if I get to 3 lands, I have basically 2 additional mana sources. So, all right, I'm gonna cut the land as the next cut. That's it. Okay. Now I have good hands to keep. I have early plays, and I have creatures and interaction and mana. That works. So there's the thing. I don't want to trade with the Steel Crusher, but I'm gonna still play it. So next turn I can use Infusion and Bite Down if I want to. think I'm gonna do exactly that. 10 Sentry and Dragon Webs and stuff. Yeah, let's do it while they are tapped out. Because I want to use my mana anyway, and this is a, an acceptable ways to use my mana. Okay then, well, they have the advantage late in the game, but it will take a lot of mana to use those abilities. I have these relevant plays available. Is there anything scary they can bring back? Not really. 2 drops. Rage Race. Good card, but at least they have to take 4 here unless... They can double block that guy, which would be... Well, now with the Colossal Growth, not very good for them. Okay, I like to see that. Also trampling 5 points. I mean, they can't really afford to use 5 mana for this. It doesn't affect the board at all, so they need to have something they can do. That's exactly... I mean, they're gonna take 2... Yeah, I mean, that's gonna use 2 life and 3 mana to draw 2 cards. They need to do something that affects my stuff. And I have a Haster, I have a Flyer in here. This is... Okay, well, Necromas is... Yeah, that's the kind of cheap card they can have there. Alright, so what do I do in here? 7 mana allows me to kick and haste. I mean kick and pump. Well, I'm nowhere near that, so if I get my land, I can't cast my Dragon Whelp. So hoping they don't have anything on the Whelp, because they can't really attack with the Necromas. Well, they can if they have, you know, other Necromances or something, but yeah, well, let's see now. This made at least things very interesting, because it's I'm no longer, you know, having a very large advantage here. A lot depends on if they have an answer for the Dragon Whelp or not. They're gonna go for that option, but that's because they have a 4-point domain, don't they? Yes, everything but mountain, so this will be a 6/6. So I can use this 3 times without it dying. That's a 2-turn clock. Assuming they don't have anything. Now they have this Soul Tender up, so am I supposed to actually... There's nothing too amazing there though, but... Because I can attack into this guy. I can attack into this guy and just feed my sentry and have forced them to use 4 mana for this, and they can't use the Soul Tender's ability in that case. It's really interesting. Do they have an answer for the Dragon Whelp? That's another question. I could haste this with 1 mana or throw. I mean, haste will be always happening, but I could kick this, or not even care about the kicker in there. Well, I can't play both of these if I want to pump this guy. So I think I'm gonna go for the, you know, the safest, weakest method in here. I'm gonna just have the Dragon Whelp here. I'm gonna pump it 3 times and then I can play the Sprouting Goblin. I can kick it. Okay, at least that worked. I'm happy about that. So now they have to have something on the Whelp. Now if they have a cut down, they can use it because I'm totally tapped out. But then again, yeah, they can return something with this. But I didn't see anything that deals with my flyer, did I? Yeah, they need out, so they need some to draw something, so they can draw an additional card there, and then I don't think they can really attack with the Necromancer now. At least I hope they can. Okay, so they actually just don't have anything with the Whelp. Well, sometimes it's just, you know, you have your flyer and they don't have a means to block it or kill it, and that's it. Alright. Yeah, I can go 3, 4 and hopefully 5. On the play, missing out the 2-drop on the 2-drop is not such a big deal. Swap. That's a nice little card actually. Doesn't deal much damage, but can be you know, still a meaningful card in later stages in the game too. And on turn 1 you can, you know, deal a few points of damage with us. Right, so I don't think I have any reason to deviate from my plan, which is just do this and play the Warpwood. They don't have a 3-mana play there, so let's see if they have something for at the instant speed, but if they don't, I'm off to a good start with the Molten Monstrosity. Now, this can't be played with it of course, but at least I get to Trample. Plus I might even use the Warpwood to enlist the Monstrosity, but let's not go ahead of ourselves. They can just kill that guy, attack for 3. So Monstrosity is not currently... Alright, so... I'm just thinking if I want to do something crazy, but they are at 18, it's not worth it. I could use a pump spell here to play the Monstrosity on this turn. I guess I get the Scry out of it. If I use the Bellow. I think I'd rather leave the Colossal Growth for later use. I mean, I guess I'm gonna do it. If they have a removal on the Monstrosity, that's gonna be annoying, but at least they take a bunch of damage and I get the Scry out of here. Fine. Fine. Okay, I don't need the land. So Scry was useful. So this is now a 3-mana spell, but it's actually going to be a 2-mana spell. Sadly, I can't pump this more because I need the red mana still to do this. But this is fine. And they are now 12. And the Scry was sort of a Droga card because I don't really need the forest here, so that's fine. And I still have the Colossal Growth. I even have the 2-drop into a kicked Colossal Growth, so now let's see. If they want to kill the Monstrosity, that's hopefully gonna at least take a lot of mana from them. This has Menace, so take out. Okay, Strike Team, I'm not concerned about that. Alright, another Colossal Growth. Well, I can't still use... Well, let's do some basic math here, because I assume the only thing they can do with the bug here is to activate the Swamp. So I could have a 6/6 Trampler, plus a 5/5 Trampler. That's 11 points of Trample. Then this needs to be blocked by 2 guys, but sadly they can block it with the Vivisector and the Strike Team, and then I can't pump it, so I can only trade with one of them. So I think I'm not gonna go for that. I will just attack without anything pre-comp. I can, you know, do the picker thing on the next turn. Totally. Maybe they will double block the Kavu here. It's possible. And of course, yeah, I will play the picker post-combat if I don't have to. Well, actually, even if I kick this, I still have mana for the picker, so yep. Well, that is... Are they actually going to say that they need the swarm for something else? That's insane. Doesn't in fact matter if I kick this or not, because the additional red is gonna be an additional point of damage here anyway. Unless I want to... Let's kick this anyway, just to make sure it's as large as possible. They are not gonna kill it with one mana, that's for sure. I don't get why wouldn't they... Actually, do I have a victory here? Wait a minute. 6+2. I mean, this is 6 after the trample. 8. No, it's not enough, right? This deals 5, they go to 7. Yeah, they will bet 1, so no. If I would be able to kick this, then it's lethal. Yeah, that's correct. So let's just do it like this. I guess they get some scries, but I don't know what this is one. They even had the mana up. Now they have to leave it up mana again for the thing. Scry the bottom, scry the top. Okay, now this is one of those things is that should I actually leave mana up for the colossal growth? They might even have the mass removal effect, which, you know, deals 5 to every creature, and I can still haste this guy with the colossal growth, and I think the answer is yes. They might also have, you know, a burn-based removal spell. Okay, Lagomos doesn't do anything. The opponent might be wondering why I didn't pump this Kabu. Well, they can figure that out. Okay, so now of course when they have... They didn't even attack with the 2-1. Why? That was just missed 2 damage. Alright. Now that they have mana up. But I mean, I have a lethal attack here because this can't be blocked by just a swarm. And this has menace anyway. So, I mean, I'm not gonna do any stupid risk with the picker in the colossal growth. I'll just in case play the land here, and they need to have something now. They need to be something rather good. I guess they will kill them Kabu here, but I mean, then I can respond with the colossal growth. So they would have to have 2 pieces of interaction there. Because if they now kill the Kabu, then I can use the colossal growth somewhere. Okay, that doesn't do anything, and then they have a Flowstone infusion. So with this, is it safer to give this guy? I mean, 1 mana. I guess that could be a cut down. If I boost the color this thing, so I'm gonna make this deal 9 -4. Yeah, I mean this. I think this is the safer way to do it. Trample more, because if they have like a cut down, which they could have, then yeah, the colossal growth on the Kabu is not making any sense. I don't think anything with 1 mana. Well, actually, I was wrong there. Because this had already Death Touch, so they could have also had the green uncommon, the 1 mana fight spell, Tail Swipe. If I target the monstrosity here, they could respond by making the Battlefly Swarm and the monstrosity fight each other. And then I lose both of my creatures, and I'm my 2/2 against the Lagomos. That was actually... Yeah. Well, I guess there were 2 different cards that, you know, make either of these targeting wrong, but I don't know which one was the actually better choice in the end. So they have a Swarm, Strike Team, Vivisector. Again, I think I haven't had really those very dirtly domain decks that have those mostly big creatures. So I think sideboarded this in every game. Have I not? Will miss out on the picker, I guess. So let's see. Do I want to make any other changes here? I guess I'm gonna like do it like this. Alright, I've gotten these decent starting hands. Also, my opponent did mulligan here. I think they went to 6. Yeah, they kept 6. So there was the one match where I had some awkward draws. It was the first one which I lost. But now I haven't been suffering from that. Alright, I can play the brawler. And I can... Oh, that's a nice one to see too. So I have good... Yeah, I have good curving out here. Strike team. I'll just trade here. They don't know that this is only ever gonna be a 2-3, so that's a fine trade there. Let's see if this eats removal. They have something, but it can be also a pump spell. Yeah, with the Colossal Growth, this is well sad. So they actually didn't play this end of turn, so they had to draw that. Interesting. Very interesting. Raider, that's a good one. Because I have to use a card to get rid of it, and there's the spawn. Alright, so... Alright, well... Why oh why? Well, I have to use my pump spells while I still have a creature here. Oh, they actually choose not to even block. Alright. Interesting, because a Rager is totally a card they can throw away. Yeah. I need something now. I need something. I will get a 2-for-1 here. I mean 1 for 2 or whatever. That's not... That's not what I wanted to do. Oh boy. So they are... I mean, the fact I'm just drawing lands here means that they can even erase me now. Sure. So I'm taking 8 now. I'm gonna die on the next turn. They're gonna leave a blocker finally. Okay, well I take 7. Next turn I will be surviving. Because they have exactly 10 here once they block with the swamp. So actually I didn't even need here anything than a creature. Funnily, I'm also threatening to have this as a 10-10. So yeah, if I drew now a creature, use this growth. Yeah, well... I mean, if I attack, I'm gonna lose to these guys. That's exactly 10 and I have nothing. Yeah, I mean... If I don't, don't attack, what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna lose. So, whatever. That was a weird one. I had a good starting hand, but then all went south. Alright, so... I think the Death Toucher is annoying enough that I want to have this. This can at least trade with the Death Toucher by pumping. So, let's do that and maybe not have something like a Bog Patcher. Sure. Alright, this should be fine. I can discard non-lands to draw a 3rd land for this thing to get me a 4th land, so... And ideally I don't have to discard it, but I will if I need to. Okay, so this is now very good stuff. because I can just naturally curve out here. And I have now creatures and interactions. Okay, that's fine, it did its job. Another 4-drop, that's nice. Let's play the 4-4. It deals more damage. It's harder to remove than a 2-3. But of course they have the remove it. Do they have removal on the whelp? I guess the picker at least has done some damage here. But don't answer all my creatures, please. Okay, that is fine. I guess I'm gonna have to take the 2 words. They could have something like a flowstone infusion of their own. It's blocking the 2-1 is a bit risky here. Oh, they did have. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Be that way, opponent. Well, at least I got my thing there. So let's attack first, because I'd rather use something else than a lightning strike to kill that thing. Post-combat flowstone infusion seems pretty decent, and then I could play the Green Widow. Now with that, I'm not gonna let them have that around. So kill this thing and play the this one. Now this is all still fine, because the Green Widow also was a good draw. But they did do a good job of getting rid of my two pretty impactful creatures there, but I still have stuff going on here. And if they have this Death Toucher 5/5, I guess I'll just have to. Okay. So I can. Oh, it's my turn to do this kind of stuff. I don't think I still need to Lightning Strike right now. I can just attack into it with the Brawler, I think, and then play the Green Widow. Because I don't wanna. They might still have instant speed interaction, so attacking with the picker and then trying to Colossal Growth my guy might be a little bit too much. Because if I use now Lightning Strike, there's no other relevant play for me, so I'd rather play the Green Widow. Lightning Strike will be good at any stage. But of course, if they block this guy, I can just post-combat use the Flowstone Infusion. Oh, I kind of forgot one thing. They can still pump it, but I mean, then they have only 1 black mana left, so I can use my Colossal Growth here. Okay, that's actually pretty good. They didn't want to risk with the pump, and then I can use the infusion to get rid of it with no harm. Yeah, they can do that. Alright, that was a good turn. Now I am in a very good shape now. Looking at the board state and cards in hand, I mean, and life totals. Yeah, they can use 5 mana to heal that, which will come back once I get to 6 lands. I don't think it might. I mean, it's possible the game is over before that. Let's do some simple math. I have a 7 additional power here, so actually I could put them to 1 right now. Well, I guess it's just not gonna be good enough. Because they're at 8, 5, 4, yeah, that's 1. So oh, multiple of these, that's pretty sweet. Do I wanna save it? Because it doesn't do much here. I think I'm gonna do this first. I mean, it's just a 2/2. I'm not even interested in discarding a land because I want to go to 6. I actually let this happen. It's a bit weird, but I like this much more, that I can just keep attacking with this guy and leave the Colossal Growth when it actually produces a, you know, victory to me or save something that's more impactful. Okay, this is not gonna work for them. So now I can attack with both, because if they block the brawler and tap out, then I can use the colossal growth. There's no risk. There's no risk here at all. And they have to block something. And they can't just block and not activate the pump ability. That's not gonna work. Because that would be just a jump block. Okay, it doesn't matter which one. No, let's save the guy. It's gonna have Trample anyway. Alright, so that event had some difficulties, but I think the deck deserved a 2-1 result. It could have been a 3-0 deck too, but of course sometimes opponents also have good decks, and when two good decks battle, only one good deck will win. Because I think despite some of my draw issues here, but well, they can happen also in 2-color decks. Mana was super efficient. I mean, come on, what's the word? Was super consistent, yes. 10 red sources with 9 green sources, not to mention that I was able to get more of either with these guys. Mana curve was good. Now this lies a bit because I have these kicker things, these can be 4-drops and all that, but as you can see, I had enough early game, I had enough, a little bit of a late game, I had ways to push through with Colossal Growth, I had removal here, and all in all, I think this is the kind of deck that I mean, these kind of aggressive red-green decks should look like something like this. I didn't get to have a very cheap Molten Monstrosity many times, because there are some sweet things you can do with, for example, with the Coalition Wobroot. I mean, you can enlist a 3-power creature, for instance, and then this is a 6-4, and they might not want to, put a blocker that can trade with it, and then post-combat this costs only 2 and such things. So I would have maybe wanted to get more of a cheap Molten Monstrosity, but if you can't draw the card, then you don't draw the card. Definitely a very fun archetype, and also I'm happy I was able to draft yet another deck that isn't really like a domain mess, so a little bit of a variation to these videos as well. Alright, so let's claim the prize here, and I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.